All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Thursday, February 3rd, 2022, and of course, we're still in the playoffs of the NFL. In fact, we're like right by the Super Bowl. And I believe next Sunday, not this Sunday, but the one coming, in a couple weeks. So, what even is the date for that? The 13th, I believe, is the Super Bowl. So that should be pretty good. That should be a fun time. But we're not really here to talk about the NFL, we're here to talk about semi-professional football, professional football, whatever you really want to call it, because of course the USFL, as you've probably heard rumblings and tumblings of, is coming back. That is the USFL, of course. There has been a United States Football League before, but this is kind of a separate league. We'll go over that in just a minute because we're going to go over like the brief history of this new league, because it is, in theory, a new league, even though it's a reboot of a league that's existed. They kind of just bought all the rights to like this, like the league. And we'll go over that soon. So, in this first video, we're gonna go over like the brief history, and then we'll go over the 8 inaugural teams where they're gonna be playing all their games at, and all that fun stuff. And then we'll move on in the next video and do like the coaches video, and as things go on, we'll just slowly introduce more and more. We're 71 days away from the inaugural season beginning. It'll be 2 teams called the Generals and Stallions. We'll figure out where they're playing. Those will be the teams that kick it all off. Ooh, teams. All right. Anyway, there is so we can jump kind of right into like the beginning of this with looking at the legal connection. There is no legal connection between the new entity and the former league, which ceased operations in 86 and was officially dissolved in 1990. No principals from the former USFL are involved in the current league's ownership. Brian Woods, who had previously launched the Fall Experimental Football League and the Spring League, is the primary owner of the new league and acquired most of the trademarks after the last attempt to revive them. The A11 Football League let them go dormant after its own failed launch in 2014. The new USFL will not inherit the old USFL's unpaid liabilities nor its television contract. It will instead hold a new contract with Fox Sports, which already owns both the rights and an equity stake in the Spring League. So it sounds like Fox Sports is one of the major owners of it. Owners are the National Spring League, Spring Football League Enterprises, which is Fox Sports. The president is Brian Woods. 8 teams. It's going to be headquartered in Birmingham, Alabama. The TV partners look like Fox Sports, FS1, NBC, Peacock. That's pretty cool. According to Steve Earhart, former USFL exit, he still owns the rights. Whatever, that's not that important. So here's like a brief league history. So this is kind of like, on October 12th, 2021, Tad Snyder, the executive director of the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center Authority, announced that the league was in serious discussions with the board of directors of the BJCC about the possibility of the USFL playing all of its games in Birmingham, Alabama. According to initial information, USFL players and staff would be housed in Birmingham during the season for an estimated impact of about $15 million. 47,000 hotel nights. Holy shit, that's quite a bit. While the league would play the bubble season at the Protective Stadium and Legion Field. The bubble setup may possibly continue in the league's second year, with as many as 4 teams playing in Birmingham and as many as 4 their respective cities. So it looks like some teams could have cities in their own stadiums to play in, and then 4 of them would still play at the bubble. Then the teams would then be expected to play in their own cities by season 3. It sounds like they have actually like a plan as compared to most of these leagues. The proposal includes an 8-team, 10-week season with 2 additional playoff rounds from April 16th through July 3rd. That's pretty good. With the broadcast proposal as follows: 25% each on Fox, NBC, FS1, and USA. All right, pretty nice. Later on December 15th, 2021, Fox and NBC has finalized their agreement. In addition to their broadcast on TV, the latter was announced that some of the games will be streamed on Peacock, with 17 games split simulcasting between NBC and USA, while the other 4 games will be streaming exclusively on said service. Wow, I can't talk today. On November 17, 2021, it was announced that the Spring League founder, Brian Woods, would serve as the league's president, as well as Daryl Johnston as executive VP of football operations, Mike Pereira as head of officiating. That's pretty good. And Ed Hartman as EVP of business operations. On January 4th, 2022, NBC Sports reported that a player selection meeting would be held on the February 2nd and 23rd to determine teams. So basically, on the February 2nd and 23rd, their draft is gonna happen. We're gonna skip the next section because it has like a bunch of stuff that I don't really want to get released yet or talk about quite yet. On January 25th, 2022, the city of Birmingham announced that the league headquarters would be in Birmingham, and all of the games of the 2022 USFL season would be played at Protective Stadium and Legion Field. The first game is scheduled for April 16th, 2022, between two teams. The game will be broadcast by Fox and NBC, marking the first football simulcast since Super Bowl I in 1960s. Holy shit. The tickets are going to be about $10 a pop. Let's see. Anything interesting else to talk about? Fox Sports owns the league and reportedly has committed $150 to $200 million over 3 years to its operations, with plans to attract an additional $250 million from investors. Let's see. For the 2022 season, tickets will be sold at $10 a person, with children 15 and under being free. The USFL players and staff will be able to receive a college degree, tuition and debt-free through a partnership with the Strategic Education's Cabela University and Strayer University. They will also be able to take classes online or in person. So are they not paying them? I think that might just be like an extra thing that they can do while playing, but you would imagine that there's going to be money for players and coaches and all that. But I guess we'll see. All right, anyway, so that's kind of like the brief history of the league. It's kind of like a rundown spaghetti. I'm sure there's some stuff I'm missing, but, just using Wikipedia is probably the most appropriate thing to just get a quick rundown. This isn't meant to be like a super boring video where we, go over like the agreements, and this was plenty. We know the nitty-gritty, and now it's the fun part. Let's go look at some of these teams. We will have, of course, these New Jersey Generals. The logos are pretty small. Let's see if I can't find a... the New Jersey Generals are a professional American football team based in New Jersey. They are one of the 8 of the USFL. Yeah. There you go. The New Jersey Generals. There's not much. Okay. Without having to give away coaches, I don't want to. I'm just going to stay on this page. And then we have the Michigan Panthers, who I think were the last team to actually win a championship in this league. And the Philadelphia Stars, the Pittsburgh Maulers, the Birmingham Stallions, the Houston Gamblers. The Birmingham Stallions are effectively the home team for the entirety of this first season, which is quite hilarious to think about. It's like, oh, okay, so anyway, they just get like every home game. And then you got the Houston Gamblers, the New Orleans Breakers, and the Tampa Bay Bandits. All right, so these will be your 8 teams. I think it's broken down into this is one conference and this is another one, like the North and South, I believe. So yeah, and I believe all of the teams now have head coaches, which will be discussed in the next video I make regarding the USFL, which will be out tomorrow. We'll go over each of the teams' head coaches. We'll see what kind of coaching staffs, if any, that they put together. Of course, we probably already are well aware that a guy like Jeff Fisher was hired by the Michigan Panthers. He's probably the biggest, most notable name, and we're all very well aware of that one, probably heading into that video. So, all right. What teams are probably going to be fun to root for? Well, I live in the state of Michigan, so I'll probably be rooting for the Panthers here. But, there's also, the Breakers. That's a cool name. You got a cool name if you're a New Orleans Breakers fan. The Maulers is arguably one of the best names for a pro sports team I've ever seen in my life. Bandits kind of feel like a video game creative team name. Stallions, that's feels like more college-y, high school-y than a pro team. The Gamblers, is there even legal sports betting in Houston or in Texas at all? Like, that's a weird name. The Stars, that's pretty good. no real complaints. And the Generals, I don't know. I don't really see New Jersey. I guess maybe I don't know the history of New Jersey too well, but like, why are they the Generals? Like, what is, maybe if it was like Washington and they wanted to call themselves that, yeah, maybe, like DC or Maryland. But like New Jersey feels like a weird choice to be called that, but it is what it is. Is there anything else I'm missing in this first video? I don't think so. You know what I mean? We pretty much covered everything I think we wanted to cover in this first tier video. We got all the players and yada yada yada. Basically, if you can read the screen, you can see who all the coaches are, but I'm still going to make a separate video. And even me, I'm not 100% sure who every coach is. I could be wrong that Fisher's the most notable. He just feels like the most notable. Probably because he was one of the more recent guys announced. So, and he's like, and it's all over Michigan news because, of course, the Michigan Panthers, But, all the games will be played down in Birmingham at first until season 2, and then a few teams will go up north or to the respective homes, whether it be in the south or in the north. We'll figure it out. All right. I'm pretty excited, though, for the USFL. We're just 71 days, 11 hours, 10 minutes, and 18 seconds when I'm finished saying it. There we go. On April 16, 2020, it'll be the New Jersey Generals playing the New Jersey Generals playing the Birmingham Stallions. That'll take me a second to get used to. Sorry, I got Washington Commanders on the brain. They would fit right into this league with that team name and those ridiculous outfits. Jesus. All right, let me know what you think. Are you excited for the USFL? Are you apprehensive based on the performance of the XFL, the AFL, who didn't really seem to have as good a planning as this, nor did they have, I think, like someone like Fox who's footing the bill for it, for willing to up to $300 million. Is that going to be enough? Is it good that they're all just playing in one place for the first couple of years to build the brand? I personally think that's probably their best idea, is to play their first season all in one city, incur as little debt as using as few stadiums as possible, build up revenue, build up investors, so when you go forward, you have a bigger pool of money to have a few teams play home games, be able to pay for travel, be able to pay for this, that, and the other, and then in that third league, hopefully you built up enough of a piggy bank using that strategy of playing a lot of your games in one location. One or two locations in the same state, basically. That's a really good start to this. So there is some hope there. Seems like they have this league in the good hands, and third time's a charm for one of these leagues, maybe, and we finally get a viable spring football league. Maybe that's the goal. I mean, we should want it to succeed, regardless of how goofy everything about it is. We should want it to do well and become a viable thing for us to watch in the spring and early summer. So. All right, let me know what you think down below. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We'll be covering a bunch of USFL stuff as it comes along. And, yeah. All right, next video will be tomorrow, and we'll cover the coaches, and I don't know what else. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing else really after this until they do the players meeting. So, all right, that should be good. I'll have the coaches video tomorrow. I'll see you guys, and thanks for listening. Have a good rest of your day, night, morning, whenever you listen to this. Peace out. Bye.